believe in the Browns. I'm not sure I believe in Baker Mayfield. Look. The Browns haven't done a damn thing yet.
Can you even see what you're fighting for? Bloodlust and a holy war. Listen up, hear the patriots shout. Times are changing. In the end, the choice was clear. Take a shot in the face of fear. Fist up in the firing line. Times are changing. See a dying star, white lies, it's a man on fire, making love with the devil hurts. Times are changing. A thin line, the whole truth, the far right, the left view, breaking all those promises made. Times are changing.
Welcome to the Browns Table. I'm your host, Craig Fountain, and that video will give you chills. That awesome video was done by my son, Landon. He's 15 years old. He did an outstanding job with it. I was excited to see it just go absolutely nuts on social media today. Around 40,000 views at least across different platforms, and he had a blast with it. He's a big Browns fan and love to see it. Let me just kind of real quick go over, if this is your first time joining us, the Browns Table is a Browns roundtable discussion anybody can join. I'm going to have a couple hosts with me, some podcast hosts that are going to join us. You can video chat with us. There's a link in the comments. Click the link. It's real simple. Anybody can do it. You don't even have to be tech savvy. It'll bring you in. We can add you to the show, and you can, as we like to say, bring something to the table, which is awesome. We're just Browns fans talking with other Browns fans. If you don't want to show your face, just don't choose a camera. And if you want to comment on Periscope, YouTube, or Facebook, we can display and discuss your comments as well. We're going to get into this, but just so you know, if you want some original Browns gear, you can easily buy on Amazon. Then let me tell you about B100. My friends at B100.com have really cool and custom Brown shirts and hoodies for the whole family. And they're everything from professional illustrations to classic Cleveland dog pound gear. B100 is the ultimate gear for the ultimate fans. Be passionate, be loyal, B100. Check out their stuff at B100brand.com. That's BE100brand.com. I'm rocking one of their hoodies right now. It's more of a classic style. I got another one here if you're feeling dangerous, and I got more coming in the mail this week, which is awesome. Let me bring in our guests today. We have Jason Hand. He's all over Browns Twitter. He's the host of the Browns Huddle Podcast. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you tonight, Craig?
Outstanding. Appreciate you joining the show. I'm going to bring in That Fatt Guy. You guys are all familiar with That Fatt Guy, and he's the host of the Illegal Ham podcast, and you can see that wonderful cover art in his background that I have to comment on every time. It's just brilliant. Brilliant. Appreciate you joining the show.
Of course, bud. Of course.
All right, and you can see they have their Twitter handles right there, at Browns Huddle and at Ham Illegal. Now, Jason, I want to start with you. This was a historic Sunday for so many reasons, and I can't even begin to describe how it felt to finally watch our Brownies pull this game out. Tell me about your game day experience and walk me through kind of how you watched this game and what your emotions were.
It was a long Sunday. I'll just start there. It was a very long Sunday. I watched the 1 o'clock games, the 4 o'clock games, and at halftime I told my wife, I said, okay, now it's time to crack the beer open. So that's exactly what I did. I was very, very nervous before kickoff. A lot of emotions were running through me, but the Browns did myself and all of Browns Nation a solid. 14 seconds into the game, Marquise Pouncey hikes the ball over Ben Roethlisberger's head in the end zone. We get a touchdown, and then my nerves kind of leveled off, and I was ready for the rest of the game.
Now, it was certainly a big start to that game, and it was exciting. I mean, we were up 28-0 in the first quarter. I don't know that anybody expected this kind of turn of events to take place. But it was so special to watch, and I don't know if we'll ever be able to. Hopefully we'll be able to duplicate that feeling in the coming weeks. But That Fat Guy, I'm going to ask you the same thing. What was your game day experience like? How was your emotions during this game?
Well, I actually had pool league right before the game started. So what was really nice is I got a little pregame up until the game, and then when I got home, I had the whole house to myself. My wife, my kids were asleep. I sat down in a recliner, turned on the game, and like I said, you watch the snap go over the head, and I went, did I have too much whiskey? Is this what's really going on right now? Like, hold on, they can't score a touchdown with it. Like, and then the next one happened. Then the next one happened, and it just snowballed from there. And I couldn't even cheer. Like, I wanted to, but I was dumbfounded. I didn't know how to react as a Browns fan. Like, I'm just like, is this real? Like, somebody pitched me. Did I really am I dreaming this? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, for sure. It was a long wait during Sunday. Let me tell you what, to get to this game, the anticipation was just, it was agonizing. Watching football on Saturday, all day Sunday. Some of you guys know my story, or if you follow the Gingers Talk Football podcast, you know about French. French came up and we met for the first time in person this weekend. That's right. Oh. It was a really interesting and great time to get with him, and he got to watch the game with us. So it was a great weekend for me for many reasons. But I couldn't have asked for a better game. Let me ask you this, Jason. Who was your MVP?
My MVP of the game on Sunday night was Kareem Hunt. I loved what he did on that football field. And when he pushed that linebacker into the end zone, I had to watch that 4 or 5 times. That's what the Cleveland Browns are all about. You could tell not only Kareem Hunt, but all the Browns players wanted that game. But if you ask me the MVP, it's going to be Kareem Hunt.
What about you, That Fat Guy? Who's your MVP?
That offensive line. The whole offensive line, for Batonio being out, for Dunn being in, for Conklin getting hurt, Lamb coming in, and to Baker not to get touched by the Pittsburgh Steelers, that offensive line deserves the biggest kudos of everybody.
And that's something that was interesting. I believe Baker said he met Blake. Blake it's escaping me right now, but we signed a guy off the Jets practice squad. We brought him in, and Baker met him in the locker room before the game. So.
Was it Dunn?
Michael Dunn got the start.
Mans.
Okay. There it is.
There it is. So they stepped up huge. The offensive line stepped up in a really big way. And now we should have these guys back, which will be huge for next week. I'm going to give my MVP to MJ Stewart. I mean, he didn't have some of the fireworks. He didn't play a perfect game, but man, was he a difference maker. You could argue Andrew Sandejo might get it because we didn't hear his name called at all. But that's sometimes a good thing. Big Shaq says Jarvis Landry is the MVP because the routes he ran were so on point and played his heart out. Man, you can just feel the passion these guys play with. It's unbelievable. How much, Jason, do you think that a lot of the locker room drama, the social media drama played into the Browns' motivation this week? Do you think it's a thing, or is it something we just think is a thing?
I thought it was something that we just, thought it was a thing. Sometimes I wonder how much the players listen to social media and other players. But after the game, Baker Mayfield ran up to somebody who had a camera phone and said, "Browns are the Browns." What did he say? Something like that. Browns be the Browns. So
the Browns are the Browns.
Browns are the Browns. So obviously he was listening to it. It was very motivating. And the Steelers are still talking. Juju Smith-Schuster was last week, and now it's Chase Claypool. He's talking again. So hopefully they use that as motivation for this coming Sunday against the Chiefs.
Absolutely. And you see B. Fanjoy here says, do you realize that 21 of the 37 points in our last game versus Kansas City were scored by a guy now on our team? That is very true. And, it is Hunt. He's reminding us there, but Hunt is going to be a huge factor in this game. If the Kansas City Chiefs don't even say a word, and I think this is awesome, Hunt wants to, number one, prove the Chiefs wrong for letting him go. Okay, they kind of gave up on. There was a lot involved in that situation, but he's a Cleveland boy at heart. But he also got let go. This is a revenge game for him, and this is going to be huge. And mind you, the Chiefs haven't exactly been winning decisively since week 8. It's been 7 or 8 weeks since they've won by more than a touchdown, I believe. And they almost dropped a game last year to Houston in the playoffs. They were down. They were down pretty big. Jason, what do you think the key to victory is for going to Kansas City?
Well, let me just piggyback off what you were saying. In the last 8 games, the Kansas City Chiefs were 7-1. Their only loss coming in Week 17 against the Chargers, and of course, we all know that they rested all their starters. So no big deal there. But you're right. In all the wins that they've had, the most that they beat an opponent was by 6 points. So they're only averaging beating their opponents by just shy of 4 points. The Browns have a chance here. The Chiefs are not blowing out anybody, and neither are the Browns really, besides a couple of the games. I mean, in the last 8 games, the Browns have been 6-2. Their only 2 losses was that Monday night thriller against the Ravens. We lost on a last-second field goal by Justin Tucker, a long field goal, by the way. And I'm convinced, and a lot of others are convinced, if we had just one more minute on the clock, we could have won that game, but we didn't. Then we lose to the Jets without any of our wide receivers. So those are our 2 losses. Besides that, the Browns are red hot, just like the Kansas City Chiefs are. I'm excited about this football game.
Absolutely. And, we have Sammy Watkins already talking as this comment is alluding to. Somebody tweeted about in response to something he said, and this particular person, this fan said, looks like we got some competition next week. And Sammy Watkins said something to the effect of, well, I wouldn't go that far. So they're already giving us bulletin board material. So they're definitely giving us a challenge. Tim Unkefer, who's been on the show, you guys are familiar with him. Those comments hit home with our guys. I completely agree. Big Shaqs, Chiefs struggle against the run. Look for Chubb to run in bunches early and set up big play action. I completely agree with that. That Fat Guy, do you think that that's the key to beating the Chiefs is getting that run game going?
Yeah, because you got to keep that offense off the field. You can't give up big plays. So the way to do it is you play old school football and you just bash them in the mouth. You play okay defense, you keep them from going over deep on you, and you play the clock management game. And guess what? If you're up by 3, run it out. You got 2 of the best running backs in the NFL. Obviously, we see what Kareem did in the last game by running over people. Then you had Chubb with a screen pass that went for 50 yards. Get the ball in those 2 hands and let them go. That's all you have to do. Just let them go.
Absolutely. And the Chiefs are actually worse against the run, I believe, than the Steelers. But here's the problem. The Chiefs are a team. We have time and time again gotten up with a lead. We saw it in the Titans game. We saw it in this past week's game. We get up to a lead, and I think we go a little too conservative. We allow chunk plays. We don't allow anything big over the top. But I think Kansas City is a dangerous team to take that approach with. I don't think that you can go conservative when you're playing that offense. Am I off base here, Jason?
You definitely can't go conservative. I think what we were trying to do against the Steelers is not let those big chunk plays, those big receiving catches that just kills you, right? It'll kill a game. And this game's going to be no different. Patrick Mahomes is no joke. Tyreek Hill, no joke. Sammy Watkins, now that he's talked trash, he probably won't do anything. But still, they have a lot of weapons on that team. And we got to make every drive count. I love what you said about running the football, killing clock and things like that. But we have to make our drives count. If we're not running the football and killing clock, we have to drive the football down the field, play mistake-free. Baker Mayfield, just like the running back, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, he's going to have a game this coming Sunday, probably the best game of his life if we want to come out with a victory. So basically, we just got to go out there and make every drive count, match them point for point. It's going to be a high-scoring game, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. Now, we still got lots to talk about, but let me tell you, Cheap Seat, Fanjoy, Big Shacks, Tim, Red Leg, any of you guys, we're going to go to another segment real quick, but click the link, join in, video chat with us. If you don't want to show your face or you're in the dark or something, just don't select a camera. You can be a talking logo or whatever, but come on the show, bring something to the table. One of you guys or somebody else that's watching, this is for Browns fans to talk with other Browns fans. It's a roundtable discussion, and everybody's invited. So come hang out in the green room while we're getting through our next segment. If you'd like to join the show, we would love to have you. We ran a caption contest today. We're getting onto the Chiefs, but I kind of want to pause that a little bit because this had a lot to do with the Steelers game. They talked a lot of smack. They trolled us. We had Chase Claypool. We had, Juju. We had a lot of guys talking, and it was certainly motivation. And certainly we won, so there was a little bit of, joy on our part, rubbing it in a little bit after the fact. Now, we ran a caption contest on Twitter. We had hundreds of responses. This was also run on Facebook. This is the photo you can see over on the left-hand side. We said caption this photo. Now, the winner, I'm going to pull this off here so I can show you what the winner gets. This is a Baker Mayfield card. I know it's dark if I put it too close to the camera. It's a Baker Mayfield card. It's a 2020 Prestige Stars of the NFL card. It actually has player-worn material embedded into the card. All right, so it's pretty cool. It's a little thicker than most. The winner, we picked 5 that we're going to vote on. There's 3 of us, so this should be easy. All right, there can't be a tie. So we're going to go over these 5 comments that we chose, and we're going to pick a winner for this card. We'll DM you or you DM us. We'll get your address and get it in the mail to you. So pretty cool. The first one is going to be at Not That Chum Lee said, sit down if you were going to retire, stand up if you will be with a different team next year. Love that one. Now,
that's a good one.
That's a really good one.
One of the things that, I noticed was we were heavy on kind of picking on the TikTok content. So if you strayed away from the TikTok, you might have gotten a little bit of advantage because of the originality of it. Number 2, those gray faces just beat us black and blue. Thanks, Juju. All right. So that was in reference to the Juju said that the Browns are just nameless gray faces. All right. Man, he said a lot. He said a lot of stuff. Number 3, at Jimmy Bible. Pouncy, bro, I'm not going to wake him up. You wake him up. Juju, I told Ben not to sleep on them Browns. Ben, audible noises.
Hold on, I got the audible noise.
You got the audible? There you go. All right. So we have 3 very good ones so far. Number 4, at the real BMAU, Brett. Juju, why is Ben sleeping? Pouncy, man, he praying that he doesn't ever have to play the Browns again. Ben, amen. That was a pretty good one, too. I like that one. The This is somebody I love on Cleveland Browns Twitter. She's a fellow Ginger, and we joke about that. Jessica, Betty, what can I do to make you stop crying? Do you want me to dance on our logo? Would that help? All right. So we have a couple really good choices on there. Jason, which one do you think you like the best here?
I like I wrote down Fade Runner, his response there. If you could pull that up.
Fade Runner, right there. Those great faces just beat us black and blue. Thanks, Juju.
I mean, they're all good, but I love that one. That's a great one.
They're all good, and that is a great one. Fatty, what do you say?
I'm going to go with him. Let's give it to him.
You're breaking up a little bit there.
I said I'm going to go with him. Let's give it to him.
The same guy? All right, majority rules. Majority rules at Fade Runner 1984. Everybody might want to tag him in the comments on Twitter. Let him know he won. If not, we will certainly do that after the show. Gets one of our giveaways. It's a Baker Mayfield card that has player-worn jersey embedded into the card itself. Pretty cool piece of memorabilia. We'll get your address and mail it out. Jason Hand is a former Browns Table card winner. They do, in fact, come in the mail. He can vouch.
I can vouch, yeah. Nicely wrapped, all protected, and nice little sleeve. I was so excited to get it in the mail, so I thank you for that, for sure.
Absolutely, and so congratulations to him. Let's kind of look at one of the narratives this week. Whenever you talk about Baker and Mahomes, we start looking at the college experience, and I'm sure you've seen this graphic. This was an insane matchup back in 2016. Lots of touchdowns being scored. Baker got the best of Mahomes in this situation. I think we need Baker Mayfield to be able to win this game. I think we need fireworks. I like the idea of running the ball to chew up a lot of clock and try to get a lead and stuff like that, but I think you're ultimately going to have to throw the ball quite a bit. Jason, how do you look at how we should attack this defense? Is it a straight run game? Am I wrong here? Do we need to pass the ball to kind of try to get a big lead here?
Well, we've seen in three different games this year, the Dallas Cowboys game, the Tennessee Titans game, and this past Sunday night against the Steelers. To me, that's the formula. Punch them in the mouth early, jump into a big lead, throw them off their game, because we know what our game is. We go out there and blast them with, 10, 14 points right off the bat. It's going to throw them off. So that's what I've seen with those three games, and to me, that's how you have to approach this game. Start strong, start early, and don't let off the gas.
I was reading some interesting statistics about teams that are first round, or basically first seeds in the playoffs, and how they play coming off of a bye. And they don't fare quite as well as you think. They lose those games 30% of the time in that particular round. You pair that with they haven't played in almost a month. You pair that with how they haven't really been, winning as decisively like we talked about earlier. And I think we really got a shot. And one of the things that I love is that the media is starting to buy in and give us a little bit of break. What do you think, Fatty? Do you think that do you think that this is our year?
Of course.
We're going all the way, right? Super Bowl or bust, right?
This is our year. There's a pandemic. There is a change in office. Yes, this is our year. This is our year. Why wouldn't it be our year?
My wife.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my wife is a Steelers fan. Okay.
Oh.
So some know that, some don't, but that's the reality of my situation, my world. And my wife, last night, we're sitting watching the national championship game. Sorry, I had to bring that up. But she asked me, she said, how much are Super Bowl tickets in Tampa? And I turned to her, I was like, what? And she goes, I mean, how much are they? I mean, do you think we can go? Because her sister lives in Tampa. And I had to think about it for a second, but now my wife, a Steelers fan, is believing that the Cleveland Browns can actually make the Super Bowl. So if she can believe, why can't we?
Exactly.
Absolutely. And it's funny you bring that up. My wife was a Steelers fan before we got married, and we've been married almost 10 years now. I converted her. I successfully converted her, and I don't know how. I mean, she was pretty diehard. I think Baker did it a little more than I did. She loves Baker Mayfield. She loves Juice, a lot of those guys. But she was already looking up. You know, she was on that same thought train. To answer your question, I think they're like $19,000 or something like that, just to get in the door.
Yeah, you're fine.
We'll just slap it on the card.
Whatever.
You know, no big
We'll just
deal.
put it on the card, right?
Yeah. It's like getting it for free.
Absolutely. And Tim, how you doing there, buddy?
I'm doing good. I got a small amount of battery here, so we're gonna make this work.
All right.
Doing good. And you know what? Craig's right. I have no idea how he managed to convert her to a Browns fan. Honestly,
Tim is, for those that don't know, Tim's family to me. He is actually my wife's cousin.
yeah, and she was a diehard Steelers fan. Like, it was brutal. Like, before Craig even came in the picture, it was a nightmare at times. She liked it, and she enjoyed rubbing it in my face and her brother's face. Yeah, it was wasn't nice, but it's great now. And look at us. We talked about this.
Look at us.
I am so freaking excited. This is going like already the longest week ever. My dad keeps saying, he goes, your favorite team's playing your second favorite team. How do you feel about that? And I was like, you always say that to me just because, you know, in high school I was a Chiefs fan. You know, there was a moment there where I wanted a winning team and I was all about Joe Montana and Marcus Allen and everything else. But I was like, I was always a Browns fan at heart. I was like, and now it's just, I was like, I don't care that there's still a little bit of, some of the Chiefs blood running through me, but it's exciting.
You're aging yourself because you still look 20.
Yeah, dude, I honestly, like, Sunday I was hoarse. Yesterday morning.
Yeah, I know you were texting me the entire time.
Oh, it was awesome. Let me see if I can get some light in here. I don't know.
There you go.
I just tried Papa John's stuffed crust pizza. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. All right.
Hold on.
Sounds good.
Now
What?
you're talking to a fat guy. What was on the pizza?
I just did pepperoni banana peppers on that.
That a boy.
I was more interested in the stuffed crust.
There you go.
But back to before my phone dies and everything, back to what you guys were saying earlier about the comments that, Juju and Chase Claypool and people have been saying. And then, Sammy came out there. I think that was a player that actually said, hey, we got some competition next week. And and then Sammy Watkins was like, I wouldn't go that far. I was reading an article and they said how, I think it was Jarvis that said they had the Michael Jordan mentality, going back to The Last Dance, whenever they talked about a couple different players that would talk shit to Michael Jordan, and he would go out there and just destroy them. Like, they gave him such an edge, and I think that it did. I think some of those things that were said, it just like, just like us as fans, you're tired of hearing it. You're tired of hearing people discredit you, your talent, everything like that. And it's I'm really, really excited. Oh, we lost Craig.
Oh, wait, I bet you it's the dog. Is the dog eating chocolate again?
The dog does eat chocolate often.
Oh, he's coming back.
He's coming back.
No, it wasn't the dog eating chocolate.
Sassy wasn't eating chocolate this time. No, that I learned that lesson.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just very excited. I'm glad to see all you guys, and it's a great time right now for us. Honestly, I had friends from I travel all over. I had so many people texting me and calling me and telling me congratulations. Like, I'm so happy for you because
World's team.
Yeah, like everybody just knows. Like, it's been a long time for all of us.
So, can I just 1 second. We just got done recording, and I actually said this on our recording.
Yeah.
We're not nobody's doormat anymore.
No.
Second to win column. This win solidified the Cleveland Browns. It really did. Because we're not a joke. We're not somebody's second fiddle. We're not a bye week for somebody else's team. And between Andrew Berry, Stefanski, Paul DePodesta, Baker Mayfield, and all the other stars, and especially Jarvis, which I'll get into that, this team is different. It's not the normal Browns team.
I agree with that. And just so everybody knows, just like Tim just jumped in here, anybody can click that link that's in the comments and join in just like Tim. Tim, appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Yeah, I wanted to try it on my phone, because I was always at my computer. Super, super easy. So seriously, anybody jump in.
It's easier than joining a Zoom call. No meeting IDs or codes or anything like that. Just click the link and go. Even the fat guy can do it.
Exactly.
But anybody can join us at any time. There was a comment, and for some reason our feed got interrupted or something, our comment feed. But there was a question that I believe Big Shax asked about whether or not Ward, if he's back, is he going to shadow Hill all game? Jason, I think you're more of an X's and O's guy than I am. I think. What do you know about this?
You have me confused for somebody else. That's a good question. Denzel Ward, I think he can come back as soon as tomorrow, I heard. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tyreek Hill, that is a job, man. And, it's really tough to say, Denzel Ward's health, obviously he's probably not in football shape, but does he have any effects from having COVID-19? We saw Myles Garrett struggled coming back. So to put him on Tyreek Hill the whole entire game, that's a great idea, and it's Denzel Ward, our number one cornerback. I just don't know if we can ask him to do that. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be a team effort there to cover that guy. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. And Tyreek is a big threat, and he's somebody that we really got to be careful with. But I'll tell you who I'm worried about the most. One of our biggest issues on defense this year isn't just the pass defense in general, it's tight ends. We let tight ends get the best of us. And there's a guy by the name of Travis Kelce that we have to figure out what to do with. And, I can tell just by Fatty's expression, it hurts to think about it even. Are we going to be able to neutralize Fatty, Travis Kelce, or do we just have to do damage control?
You got two of the best players with Tyreek Hill to take the top off of anybody. And then you got Kelce, which is one of the best tight ends probably in the NFL ever. And I will actually say that because man catches everything. And what you have to do with this at this point in time is, one, pick your poison. And Denzel shouldn't go and shadow Hill the entire time. Let Denzel shut down half a side of the field. Let them throw to the other side because that helps the defense out a little bit more. But with Kelce, the only way I can see this happening is if you run a nickel and you get somebody on Kelce that can actually cover him. And because linebackers can't and corners can't, but you can get a safety on him. If a safety can follow him around like Rodney Harrison, follow him around the entire game, I would do that. That's me personally.
And then you got guys like Mac Wilson, who's actually okay for the most part. I think he's okay against the pass, and he's decent in coverage. He really struggles against the run. But what makes me nervous about him is that he's failing to wrap up, and Kelsey's hard to wrap up as it is. That's a big man, and he's a bad man. I don't know who they're going to put on him, and it looks like Jacob Phillips kind of passed up Wilson on the depth chart pretty much for good. And he's been playing. he's been playing great. So yeah, I mean to kind of piggyback on what everybody else is saying, this is something where Harrison's going to have to go back in there and thump people, and Sendejo is going to have to really get involved. And we do have an X's and O's guys waiting in the wings, and I can't wait to talk to him. I'm going to see if he's ready.
Yeah,
because
let me drop out and he can pop in. I'm going to say one.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in this game. Kelsey, he's a Cleveland boy. He loves Cleveland. He's back here all the time. He comes home and visits. He loves Cleveland. He's been back in Larry Nance Jr. and all this stuff, and himself has been donating to local businesses in the Cleveland area. So, you got to wonder what's going on in his mind. And then you got Hunt going back to Kansas City. There's a lot more of a story behind this game than people give it credit as well. I'm excited. And people keep saying, the Chiefs have more weapons. But we have just as many weapons as the Chiefs do. We really do. They got Hill and Kelsey. I mean, what do you want to talk? You want to talk Le'Veon Bell? You want to talk what's I can't even say the guy's name. Clyde Harrell or whatever.
Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, Helaire. Yeah, there you go. Like Kansas City's running, like their rushing offense has been terrible. Like Mahomes is their team. They have Kelsey, Hill, and Mahomes, in my opinion. I mean, you got Sammy Watkins. He's always hurt. He definitely didn't pan out to be what he was supposed to be when he came out of drafting. You got McCole Hardman, who is super fast. You got Robinson there. I mean, we have just as many weapons as they do. I think we're looking at an exciting game that is getting a little discredited because people are still kind of have that stigma. Oh, it's the Browns. But love you guys. I'll be here watching.
Tim,
I mean,
have a good one, Tim.
Have a good one, Tim.
Yep. Take care.
I mean, if you can limit Travis Kelce to, say, 60 to 70 yards and one touchdown, would that be considered a success?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Brad Ward.
Brad Ward is in the house. Let's get back to Jason's question in just 1 second. Brad is the host of the All Eyes on Cleveland podcast. He is the X's and O's guy that we need right now. You just jumped in a. We're gonna put you on the spot here in a second. Jason, let me lead off with you though. Why don't we get Brad involved in the conversation? What was the question you just asked for Brad?
Well, we're talking about Travis Kelce. I mean, the guy is a beast, and we've had our problems against tight ends. You can't stop him completely. That's just, you can't do that. He's too much of a weapon. But my question was, if we can limit him to, say, 60 to 70 yards, somewhere in that range, and a touchdown, would that be considered a success for our defense?
No question. I think no question about it. I mean, that's a pedestrian for him, right? He'll take over the game if you let him, for
Absolutely.
sure. So, yeah, I heard a little bit of what you guys were talking about the cornerbacks and kind of the coverages that do. Let me kind of just say this. This presents an interesting situation. So the Chiefs and the Niners in the Super Bowl last year, right? So you've got our defensive coordinator coached against them in that game, and that key third down that Mahomes threw to Hill, all San Francisco ran cover three. That's all they ran nonstop. Is that Seattle cover three press bail is what they call it, and several teams run it, but as far as corners go, they will stay on whatever side they're on if they're in that defense. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Woods switched that up because look at they have some history playing against that defense, some very much familiarity with it. I mean, they beat the Niners on running cover three beaters strictly alone in the fourth quarter of that game to win that game. So, but as far as the corners goes, they won't chase corners. I don't think that – I would be surprised if they follow corners from side to side. They haven't done it all year. I don't think they will. They zone. I think against this team you have zone. I don't, I think you mix it up and play different zones against them a lot. But I can't imagine trying to match up with man to man with McCole Hardman and Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. You're asking for problems. You can throw it in there every now and then, depending on what kind of formation they're in or what kind of set they bring out. But I would think we're going to see a lot of zone, and I don't think the corners will switch sides. You should have Kevin Johnson back too, who's a little bit quicker, so that'll help a little bit. It's hard to take MJ off the field how well he played the other night, but I think they will. I've been calling him slow and short forever, and he had a hell of a game, man. He played his ass off the other night, so that was great. And how about this, guys? Our legends from the other night, Michael Dunn and R-Jax, I was calling him, Robert Jackson. They're on the injured reserve already. What the hell? They play one game and they're done? What is happening? I mean,
it was a hell of a game, though. It was a hell of a game, Brad.
I mean, Michael Dunn went freaking legend, dude. He was handling Cameron Hayward. Have you seen Baldy's breakdowns today? I mean, he was literally handling Cam Hayward like he was a rookie, like he was nothing. Dunn hadn't played a snap yet. This guy went legend in a freaking game, and he's on the injured reserve. What a shame.
This guy was sacrificing before he even got in the building. Did you guys read the story? I don't know. I think it might have been at Peter King's Monday Morning Quarterback about his trip to Cleveland. They actually Andrew Berry actually got a hold of the Jets front office. He was on the Jets practice squad, from what I understand. And
that's Hance. That's Blake Hance.
Oh yeah. My bad.
That's the third guy that came in.
Yes. My bad. Hance, though, man, my mind took a different direction there. What an incredible guy he was. But anyways, he had to drive to Cleveland just to get so he wasn't on a flight for his for the COVID protocols. So I apologize. I did get that wrong, Brad. I got those guys mixed up. But I think he played pretty well too.
Brad keeps us all honest. That's why he's here.
Yes. And Brad's a great mind, one of my favorite follows on Twitter, as is Jason and at Illegal Ham. Real quick, I got another question for you, Brad, but if you want some original Browns gear that you can easily buy on Amazon, let me tell you about B100. My friends at B100brand.com have really cool and custom Brown shirts and hoodies for the whole family, and they're everything from professional illustrations and designs to classic Cleveland dog pound gear. B100 is the ultimate gear for the ultimate fans. Be passionate, be loyal, B100. Check out their stuff at B100brand.com. That's BE100brand.com. I'm wearing my gear here. You can get that on the website. I got more coming tomorrow. I got this guy here. Woke up feeling dangerous. They got some great stuff. I would encourage you to, what's that?
Can I get some of that stuff? Was it B100,
Maybe.
right?
What's that? B100brand.com.
B100brand.com. All right, I got it.
BE100. Yes.
Did anybody see my Browns is the Browns t-shirt today on Twitter?
I did. I love
it. It was great. I like it.
Right.
Love it.
All right.
Love
Just
it.
had to
Brad,
throw it out there.
Yeah, check out Brad's
They're
stuff.
flying off the shelves. They're flying off the shelves.
Right. And why don't you guys each take a second to just plug your handles and mention what podcast you're on real quick so we can remind anybody that just joined the show. Jason, why don't we start with you?
Sure. My Twitter handle is @BrownsHuddle. I also have a podcast, the Browns Huddle Podcast, which is, you can find that at Browns Huddle Pod. So listen to me. I'm everywhere where you can listen to a podcast: Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's for the fans, by the fans. I pick Browns fans each week to come on the pod. We just talk Cleveland Browns football. Have a blast.
It is a great show. I've been on the show, and I had a blast talking to you, Jason. I've also been on Brad's show. Brad, what's your show?
All Eyes on Cleveland. My handle is @WardOnSports or @All Eyes on Cle. for the podcast. And we'll have 2 shows this week. We're going to do playoff divisional round special edition tomorrow with my guy Jeff Risden over at USA Today Browns Wire, where I write also. So he's kind of like my boss, but he's kind of, he's a pretty smart guy when it comes to football. So I get him on there. And then I got a cool guest on Thursday night. Guy's name is Joe. You might remember him. I don't know. Joe Valerio. Maybe not. He played offensive line for the Chiefs for 6 years. And he's a host of the Believe on Chiefs podcast, and he's going to come on and talk Chiefs with me on Thursday night at 7.
Thursday night at 7, all eyes on Cleveland. And Fatty, illegal ham to the face.
I am that fat guy. You can find me at I am that fat guy with 2 T's. You also find me at Ham Illegal, which is down here at the bottom. We talk everything Cleveland. We talk food. Craig's been on our show. He had a blast. That's a little bit.
I've been on all your shows. It's crazy.
I know.
Best named show in all of town for sure.
And you got that cover art.
So I actually had a friend named Paulie who is
yes,
little Italian. Something fell off a truck, and he goes the guy, and he goes, "Hey, I'll make your cover art." And I told him what I actually wanted. I said, "Hey, we're fat. I want a pig eating a chicken wing, drinking whiskey, and have a beer helmet on." He goes, "I got you." So I'm like, "Hold on. I'm going to Ohio State flag and a Michigan flag behind it." He goes, "I even got you." Next thing you know, 2 days later, he brings me this art.
And that's awesome.
Incredible.
Point.
Yeah.
And I looked at him. He goes, "Is this what you wanted?" I'm like, "Of course." So, Holly, I know you might be listening right now. Thank you so much for the art because it is amazing. And so, like I said, with our name, nobody really knows that we talk Cleveland sports. We are Cleveland sports.
Mm-hmm.
We talk Indian.
It's the perfect name because you're food and sports. Illegal ham to the face. It's a great pun. I'm a huge fan of puns. I love it. Brad, I want to ask you what we were kind of talking about some keys to victory against the Chiefs. We got to contain Kelsey somehow. We got to contain Hill somehow. We got to get a run game involved. What is the single most important thing you think is the key to beating the Chiefs?
Basically, I look at his defense and kind of how the Pittsburgh game went, and our offense is hot right now, and has been probably for since the Titans game, take out the Jets game, very efficient. In that Titans game, had a huge first half. In the Giants game, they were extremely efficient, scored at will early on. I don't think that Kansas City's defense is even is very good at all. I feel like we're going to need to score with them. Defensively, I think you go small. I think you kind of have to go small. You'll get your Malcolm Smiths out there. He's really good in coverage. I think they'll use him a lot more. He may have kind of been, they might have been easing him back into action the other night because he didn't see as many snaps as he usually does. But how about B.J. Goodson? Let me just give a recognition to this guy who we really didn't know anything about this year. But he led the team in tackles, 91 tackles. He had 10 freaking tackles the other night, along with M.J. Stewart, had an interception and 9 tackles the other night. So guys playing out of their ass, against that Steelers team. Really, that's what you're going to have to ask guys to do. But I would be surprised if they don't go 3 safeties again. If you get, if you got Ronnie Harrison healthy and they got Sendejo and they kind of mixed in red wine a little bit, which I'm not really a fan of because I think he's a little timid. And he did have the interception, but you guys could have caught that interception. But I don't like it when he's on the field, but if they go, and not really Sendejo either, but there's something to being in the right place at the right time, which is what he kind of can do. He needs to learn how to wrap up when he tackles and stuff, but whatever. I hate his white hair. I really don't like any of those guys in the safety room. Ronnie Harrison, Carl Joseph, though, I like those two. What they'll do is they'll get Harrison up in the box and they'll get Joseph up in the box, hopefully to guard Kelsey. That would be the best solution, right? Is to go 3 safeties, mix what kind of coverages you're in and keep a safety up in the box, either to play the run, which you're not really going to have to, but more importantly, to match up against Kelsey. Anytime Kelsey gets a linebacker on him, it's advantage Kelsey, so.
Jason, I want to go to you. Do you have anything, as we like to say, that you would like to bring to the table?
Well, first of all, I want to recognize that we have a highly motivated football team right now. These guys are playing like their heads are on fire. We have guys that are playing on this football team that didn't have any idea that they would be playing on a football, on an active roster. And that's what we have. Kevin Stefanski's coming back. And this I know. We're going to be prepared. He's going to have a solid game plan. And Joe Woods is going to have a solid game plan for our defense. So what I want to see, and I pointed this out before, is let's go punch him in the mouth. We have had an unbelievable ability to fly under the radar this whole entire year. And we're managing to do that in the second round of the playoffs. You know how huge that is. All the pressure's on the Kansas City Chiefs. We have zero pressure going into this game. Of course, we all want to win. The Cleveland Browns obviously want to win. But there's no pressure. We can go out there loose, energetic. Baker Mayfield has to have the game of his life, and I believe he will. Baker Mayfield has played unbelievable these last 8 or 9 games. I saw a touchdown to interception ratio is like 19-1.
19-1 since the interception he threw at the beginning of the Bengals game. Yep. Incredible.
Unbelievable. I mean, I'll put Baker right next to Mahomes. These two guys are both of them, Mahomes and Baker, are going to put up a lot of points this game. So I think that's just what's going to come down to. Obviously, who can score the most points, but I'm looking at it being a high-scoring game. We're going to be motivated. I am so excited that we're in this game. And to me, man, we get past this game, guys, we're in the AFC Championship game. I mean, how unbelievable would that be? So get your seatbelts on. This is going to be a fantastic game. I'm going to have the popcorn, the beverages all ready to go. I'm pumped.
Lots of beverages.
Lots of beverages. Yeah, this past Monday was the best hangover I've ever had in my life. The best. And next Monday, hopefully, will be even better.
I've been trying to jump on and do post-game shows, and I've done them the past few weeks. Unfortunately, between the time this game was played and my enjoyment of the game and consumption of beverages, that did not happen. So I'm going to try to behave a little better this Sunday, but I'm still going to enjoy it. Yes.
You can't have a post-game show at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
No. Here's my brother French. He was sitting next to me. Yes, I consumed a lot of Busch Lattes. We don't need to disclose the exact number. No judgment here. Cheap Seats wants to know, Fatty, what are you eating on this game day coming up?
Oh, my boy. I actually am going to be at Mr. B's Tavern for the game, and I am going to do chicken quesadilla, some garlic parm wings, and their take on a Roman burger.
All right. That sounds delicious.
I haven't had dinner yet. That sounds damn good.
What is that exact address?
Yeah.
130th and Pearl, over by Rookies. All right, there's a little strip mall there. Best chicken quesadilla I have ever had. It comes out on a pizza tray.
Cool.
All right, so it looks like Fanjoy was at the game. I couldn't leave my seat to get refills. Way too much action on the field. That would have been that. I mean, how many chances are you going to get to see these playoff games, or have we had anyways?
Can we inquire on how that person got into the game? It was fans. It was friends and family only.
I heard it was friends and family of both teams. That's what I heard.
Well, all right.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
Oh, there you go.
Fanjoy. I mean, great job, but I just wanted to know how they got in.
Oh, wait for it.
Yeah,
Well,
whose burner account is this?
Yeah,
It's
Oh,
this is.
who we talking to
Tanner,
here?
is this
Really?
you?
I'm just gonna pretend it's Baker Mayfield because it starts with a B. At home.
At home.
Right. All right. So he wasn't at the game. I took the comment out of context. That makes way more sense. We won't get those few seconds back, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. So does anybody else have anything they want to bring to the table before we close out this show? Brad, what do you got?
I do. I just want to echo what Jason said. So, like, you asked me for keys to the game, and I really didn't give you any keys. I just kind of rambled on about defense and stuff, so I apologize for that. But definitely the keys, you know, out physical. The Chiefs, the Browns have that advantage. The offensive line out in the mouth. Same thing we did to the Steelers. We really haven't faced anybody all year that we can't out physical. And if they go in there with that same mentality and that same push, then you should be able to, you know, get ahead, run the ball, you know, utilize the pass early. It'll be interesting to see the way Kansas City comes out. And am I distorted? Can you not hear me?
Oh, no, you're good.
Okay.
I'm reading comments. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, but I totally agree. Out physical. It'd be interesting to see how they approach us. Most teams have come out like, you know, come hell or high water, we're going to stop the run. And Stefanski has taken advantage of that with the pass early, right? And then kind of rolled back to the run after he loosened up the defense. It'll be interesting to see if the Chiefs do the same thing. And a lot of this is going to be predicated on what Joe Woods can set up defensively. But schematically, you know, they've been very opportunistic on defense. So I don't think Patty Mahomes is going to throw 4 or 5 interceptions. So that's not going to happen. But one thing they can't, you know, with Mahomes, one thing you can't do is what our defense doesn't do a very good job doing is they rush past the pocket. Like, we don't contain the pocket well. Like, Garrett is always circling the pocket, right, for that strip sack. You can't do that against Patrick Mahomes. He will run right through those right through those lanes, just like Lamar Jackson did. Ran all over him.
All right. And French says the Steelers gave the Browns a lot of opportunities, interceptions, and fumble for a TD. Chiefs aren't a turnover-prone team like the Steelers are. How do the Browns score and maintain success in the game without those turnovers against the Chiefs? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
makes a lot of sense.
You know, I saw some interesting videos. Guys were going around looking for mistakes, and maybe Brad can elaborate on that, and I'm choking on myself. Oh,
What's that now? What'd you
tickle in
say?
my throat. But there were videos coming out today of dropped interceptions by Mahomes. You got to give credit to Mahomes for not turning the ball over, but there have been a lot of missed opportunities. What do you think, Brad?
Yeah, you're right. He did. It's a weird stat, but I did see that too. Like 16 drops. Like, that's awfully lucky, right?
Yeah. Well, we lost Craig, so I guess I'm in charge.
Well, that's okay. I'm strangely.
And we lost somebody else.
And we lost Brad. There he is.
There. Oh, Craig's coming back.
I'm coughing.
Oh,
Am I gone?
did you get it down the wrong pipe? It's Bush Light. Craig, Brad, you're still here.
Oh, I thought you said I was gone. Okay.
Craig is well, he's swallowing beer the wrong way.
Yeah.
So as he sips another one, attaboy. All right, all right, everybody, what are we going to do against Kansas City?
I think it's question down here what happened to stunts in the middle dog cross. I mean, they need to run more stunts. I would like to see them do stuff like that, but so much of that, they like concentrate so much on Garrett that you would like to see him do more of that.
Did you guys see Taki on his interception? How he just popped up out of nowhere. Ben Roethlisberger didn't see him, and Taki made that interception, which pretty much sealed our victory. Patrick Mahomes, he can throw picks. He threw 3 interceptions against the Dolphins. We have to create turnovers, and I know that's a tough thing to predict, but this Cleveland Browns defense, they can create turnovers. And that's what we have to do this football game is win that turnover battle. And I think we can do it.
Yeah, I think you can do it too. Here's my fear, right? Even though we created turnovers against the Steelers and we're very opportunistic, we still did not get any pressure really on Ben at all, even despite getting all the interceptions. And if you give Mahomes dance around back there, he'll manipulate when you're in, he'll move people around, he'll give time, man-to-man won't hold up for that long, and he'll find the open receiver and hit him. So they're going to have to find a way to put some pressure, whether that means bringing some actual blitzes or bringing some actual different fronts and bringing extra people at Mahomes. I think that's something that they really seriously have to consider doing, not just 4 guys up front, because basically since Garrett had COVID, he hasn't been the same player, and he hasn't really even had any pressures, really. And they need to get pressure. Go ahead.
He had pressures against Big Ben. He was right there. There was a couple pressures that he had that Ben threw at the feet of people. Grant,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
I agree. He's not the same person as he was.
I just didn't. He didn't impact the game the way I was hoping he would.
Oh, I was expecting him to just play out and ball out, and he didn't.
Yeah. It's been like that for a few weeks, and he leave the field
I thought-
for plays at a time because he's huffing and puffing. And
I don't know if there were statistical pressures, but he got close a lot of times. He was a split second away from maybe even a strip sack at one point. But,
he had that one that they broke down his bend on where they were showing his ankles in slow motion. That's pretty cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Love Collinsworth going, look at the ankles. Look at
They zoomed in. They from the knee down. It's the only time they get better with the zoom work is when they want to show Baker throwing with his hips. You get the belly button to the thigh view of how he's throwing the ball with his hips, not his wrist.
Look at the front toe. We called the front toe. Look at that.
Front
Look at
toe,
that.
back heel, and then there's hips and that fire.
Look at that torque. Look at that torque.
The torque. I like it. I think I found my voice, which is good because this is live. That would have been a problem.
The cheap pod, that's Jews telling you to drink more because obviously you had a little dry throat.
Yes.
Somebody pointed out in the comments that Kareem Hunt had 3 touchdowns when we played him in 2018, I believe. He's now on our team. So what do you guys think about Kareem Hunt having a big game against Kansas City?
Yeah, I think you got to lose him a lot.
This is as big of a game for him as it is for anybody against the Steelers. And man, if even the way Juju and some of these other guys antagonized the Browns, I think that Kareem Hunt's attitude going in this game is just as aggressive or passionate as it would be if they didn't say anything at all. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know if I articulated that well, but I don't think he even needs them to talk to get him motivated. The Chiefs might as well have already had Juju saying 1,000 things because he's already that fired up, I think.
Fanjoy again making a great point that Garrett's still getting double and triple teamed. They pointed out during the game, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, is that they overloaded the whole one side of the defensive line, and they still dedicated 3 players to Garrett on the other side of the line. They're just going to stop him and with everything. back to not being able to get pressure. I just want to see some corner blitzes here or there, just bring people from different areas. Ronnie Harrison's really good in the blitz game. He was able to get to the quarterback earlier this year, but you just can't let Mahomes sit back there and pick you apart. You know what I mean? And if given the time, he will do that. I feel confident about this game. I know I'm rambling on. I feel confident about this game. Year anniversary today of the day they hired Kevin Stefanski. I feel confident about this game because of that man. Like, he literally game plans and schemes everything up so perfectly every game. They go in with an advantage coaching, in my opinion. Like, he will find a weakness in their defense, and he will exploit it, and he will scheme it up, and then he'll change it on him. He's just immaculate at that. He's been amazing to watch. His breakdown he does to defenses. He keeps them guessing all game long, and it's tremendous. So I have faith in him that he'll put a game plan together that'll keep him in the game.
I'm not sure if Mayfield had made that comment, and that was a great analysis, Brad. I appreciate that. I got a little slightly distracted, and I apologize. That Fat Guy, did you just drink a White Claw?
Yeah, a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Oh, now he goes out. All right, that was definitely a White Claw.
Oh, yeah, I told you it was. It's
Okay.
a blackberry one with whiskey.
You need one of those, the big boy balls, as Kendall Lamb would say.
Oh,
For you to be able to catch it.
Here, let me get it there. Little Cleveland Whiskey Company, little 88. Here, let me get there.
You drinking anything good, Brad? No? Yes?
What's that now?
You drinking anything good?
No, Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew. What about you, Jason?
Sticking to the Bud Light. It's Wednesday. It's
There it is.
Tuesday, isn't it?
It's Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday? Okay.
Right. Tim Unkefer. Yeah, go ahead.
So the last time I know we're on to Kansas City, but it was 18 years ago that we played the Steelers in the wild card game, and I was at that game.
3.
What's that?
03.
2003.
Yeah.
I was at that game, and even when I watch that game today on NFL Network, sometimes they'll replay it. I don't know how we lost that game. So, but man, when I was in the stands, I had snowballs thrown at me. I had name calling. I'm not kidding you. After the game, I'm sitting there in my seat, just like trying to digest everything that I just watched. And I had this guy with no front teeth come up to me, and he goes, "Hey, boy, you lucky you didn't win that game. You'd be swimming in the river right now."
Oh, no.
I've been waiting for this game for 18 years, and I can't think of a better situation where the Cleveland Browns go in the wild card game against the Steelers in Pittsburgh and get the redemption, man. I mean, this is a celebration beer for me because I was just sweet victory, guys. Sweet victory.
It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, we can't play him in the Super Bowl, so I agree with you. I was in I don't want to make you guys feel old, but I was kind of in the 8th grade when that happened. So,
Terminator.
Brad's the Terminator. I like it. The Chiefs' D since week 9, 269 passing yards per game, 64% completion rate, 96 QBR, 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 12 sacks, 96.7 rush yards, and 4.2 yards per carry. This sounds like something we can handle. Playoffs hit a little different. I don't know. I'm kind of. Let me get your guys' confidence level to close this show out. I'm pretty confident. Like, I'm not one of those guys that's saying, like, listen, I'm not going to mention the guy, but there was a guy that went on Steelers radio that said we don't have a chance to win this game and we should rest our starters. And he I mean, you would have thought he said he voted for Trump on Twitter, but it's
Yeah, Ryder.
yeah, it was rough. But I'm not anywhere near that. I would say I'm like at a 70 to 80% confidence level that we can win this game. Let's go in order here. Jason, what's your confidence level? 100 being for like a lock. 100% would be a lock.
Holy crap.
Man, this is a tough question. I mean, I am very confident that we can win this game. I mean, is it 100%? I mean, no game's 100%. 80%? I mean, yeah, about 80%.
All right, so we're about on the same page there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just super pumped. I'm just glad to be here, guys. I'm just glad to be here.
Exactly.
We're away from the AFC Championship game, like. This is what we've been wanting forever, and I'm happy for Browns fans. I mean, if you're under 30 years old, you probably barely remember the last time we were in the playoffs. So I'm just happy for everybody that they can see the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs, win a playoff game, and man, we got a chance this Sunday. I just believe that we have a chance. I don't know I'm confident. I'm never going to be 100%, but yeah, give me an 80.
It's been a long time. Yeah, go for it.
For you guys, because I don't know the answer. This spread surprised you? 10.5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I know we're at home in Arrowhead, and they have one of the larger fan capacity policies in the NFL.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
What's their policy right now? How many fans are they letting in?
I believe it's at least 20,000. I think it's somewhere around the 30,000 mark, and it's one of the most generous policies.
Yeah.
What's that?
20,000?
Yes, 20,000.
Oh my God, it's 20,000.
Yeah, so this is as much of a home field advantage as you're going to get on the road. We're playing against on the road. They're one of the states that has the looser type of restrictions, but. When we alluded to at the beginning of the show, Brad, I think before you jumped in here, that, the Chiefs haven't won, what was it, Jason? You said by 6 points?
Their average win is less than 4 points over the past 8 games.
There you go.
Like
there you go.
3.6 something points per. It's not a lot. They don't blow anybody out.
It's not a lot, and we talked about how they of course had a great postseason last year. They're the defending Super Bowl champs, but they almost dropped it to Houston. I think we're way better. This is a way better situation for us than Houston had. I don't think that's necessarily apples to apples, but I'm rambling a little bit here. I'm pretty confident. I think me and Jason are on the same page. Brad, you don't want to put a number on it?
Okay, explain to me the number again. I heard something about a percentage.
Yeah, so your confidence level from 0 to 100% in winning on the road in Arrowhead this Sunday, 100% would be a lock, 0% chance would be 0% chance.
That's a tough one, man. That line scares the crap out of me. That's the first time. 10.5. Holy crap!
Vegas is baiting them, man. Vegas is baiting them.
I don't care about the line. I just thought it would be more like 6 or 7 or something like that, right? 10.5 is large. I mean, that's like in the NFL. That's a big number.
I believe Vegas thinks the Rams are going to be closer to the Packers than we are going to be to the Chiefs.
Correct, yeah. Well, I'm going to go with 60%, I think, is my confidence level. So, what? If I picked 40%, that would be I think we're going to lose.
You're fine. You're fine.
Daryl Reuter said we should rest our starters, so you're not going to be him.
So 60 Daryl Reuter, 60%, it means I still think we're going to win. Does that make sense, right? So 50 is the point. So, yeah, I still think we're going to win. It's going to be tough, man.
It's cheap seats. If this backfires, I'm calling you out. You jinxed us. You need to come on the show, though, cheap seats.
I'm going with him.
Okay. All right.
100%. You want to know why?
Why?
Hold on. On our show, we had a bold predict in episode 5. I picked the Browns to go 12-4, and everybody laughed at me. They went 11-5, and they made it this far. My other bold predict was the Browns would make it to the Super Bowl and they would lose in the Super Bowl. I'm taking the Browns all the way to the Super Bowl. 100% they beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
You picked your story way back when, and you're sticking to it, and I'm not mad about it. I can't do it. I like that 70-80% mark. Me and Jason are pretty much kind of here in the middle. Brad's probably the most rational of us, but if you're right, you're my favorite person. If you're wrong, I'm blaming you for jinxing us. So,
right, you're coming on my show for like an hour and a half.
All right, make it 2.
2 hours?
People don't want to listen to me for 2 hours. Never mind.
Oh no, with us.
All right.
Cody Parkey with the game winner. That's what I'm calling.
Hey.
Cody Parkey,
Oh,
game winner.
God.
When I picked
Don't do that to my heart, man. I can't take that.
Get ready, Brad. It's coming, buddy. Get
I
ready.
can't
But he's
take
gonna
that,
nail it.
man.
He was perfect
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, I'll probably doink it in.
That was my bold prediction last week. Was Cody Parkey would hit the game winner?
Tim says this, and I'm torn on this because I would love for a Bills-Browns AFC Championship game. I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but the history we share
We're
with
allowed to look
Buffalo.
ahead. Only the players aren't allowed to look ahead.
You're right. I got you there. But the Browns and Bills have some history. They were there for us when Cleveland left. I mean, when Art Modell left. Cleveland always stayed here. But that Baltimore game, many think was the game of the year, and it would be a very interesting rematch. If we're allowed to look ahead, Jason, who do you want to play when, according to Fatty, we beat the Chiefs? Who do you want to play the following week, Bills or Ravens?
I told my wife before I got on tonight that if we beat the Chiefs this coming Sunday, I don't care who we play, we're going to the Super Bowl. If you're going to ask me who I'd rather play, I'd rather it be Baltimore.
All right. And Brad, you're Baltimore?
No question.
All right.
Ratbirds, man, they skated by barely. They got lucky in that one. We just one more shot at them. You play a team, you can't. Plus, it's like a jinx. You can't beat a team 3 times in one season, especially when we time.
Brad, you're the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd love it. My only fear is if, I don't want to be responsible for allowing them to go to the big dance. That's my only fear. But Brad is right. To beat us 3 times, especially after that last game, that would be crazy. What do you got, Fatty?
Let's end it with this note. You beat the Steelers to move on to the next round. Let's just say you beat the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. Where does that put you in the AFC North?
Right to the top, baby. Right to the top.
There. Bring on the Ravens.
You're right. There literally is zero argument anybody could make. Zero. I get it. All right, I can get on board with that.
Come on.
You got me.
It's the fun bus, man. Hop on.
Hell yeah. Let's have fun while we're here.
Let's go.
Yes.
Did you already talk about Claypool?
We did not talk about Claypool.
What a jackass. He belongs to those other idiots. Did you hear him talking? Did you hear him? Oh my God, he sounds so feminine. He sounds like a woman talking. He's like scared him. He's talking about Robert Jackson, our guy that we had to pull off the practice squad. He was bragging about us having to roll a safety over to cover him the day after that he does that. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Seriously. And the people on Twitter are a disgrace. They're just shitbags. They're scumbags. They're total scumbags. What's that?
I'm glad he said it.
They're total scumbags. I can't take it anymore.
Juju Smith-Schuster brought us to this game, and Chase Claypool is going to bring us to the AFC Championship game.
Yes.
And he made the next hype video. That'll be in all the hype videos right there.
Absolutely. And, what I'll do to lead us out of here is first of all, I want to thank. Yes. He is. He's got Brad fired up. I want to thank all you guys for coming on the show. Jason, Brad, Fatty, I appreciate you guys. It's always a blast. We'll do it again, I'm sure. Tim says Tomlin lost control of the team. That is absolutely true. To close out the show, Brad, you weren't here earlier for our caption contest decision. I'm going to roll through that again real quick, and then I think I'm going to play that hype video one more time just to close us out. So if I don't get to talk to you again, if you guys hop out of here while I'm rolling that hype video, I appreciate you. We talk on the regular, so I love you guys. Thanks for coming on the show. Let's just real quickly recap our winner for the caption contest. Brad, here is what you missed. We had a caption contest. We got hundreds of entries. All right, there's the picture we had to caption. And if they win, they get, and you can't see because I'm covering it up, a Baker Mayfield card that actually has player-worn jersey embedded in it. All right, the first one.
Before, that's cool. Yeah.
Sit down if you are going to retire. Stand up if you will be with a different team next year. That was a pretty good one. We had those gray faces just beat us black and blue. Thanks, Juju. We had... Bro, I'm not going to wake him up. You wake him up. Juju, I told Ben not to sleep on them Browns, and Ben makes audible noises that the illegal ham Fatty usually makes for us. There you go. And we had Brett here. Juju, why is Ben sleeping? Pouncey, man, he is praying that he doesn't ever have to play the Browns again. Ben says, amen. And we have Benny, what can I do to make you stop crying? Do you want me to dance on our logo? Would that help? The winner was at Fade Runner 1984. We'll be reaching out to you. You may have already reached out to us. We're on the live show, so we don't know yet. But those gray faces just beat us black and blue. Thanks, Juju. That's the winner. Great. We're gonna get this card in the mail to you. It's player worn jersey. It's Baker, so that automatically means it's fire. And I'm gonna lead us out with the hype video that my son made for us. And there's another one on the way.
Great job, Landon.
Awesome.
Landon did a great job. Very talented for a teenager, and he's a straight A student, so I know he's not skipping his homework to do this. So great job, Landon. Keep them coming, and we'll keep playing them. Thank you guys again for coming on the show. This is the Browns Table. Check out B100.com, BE100brand.com. That's our sponsor here, and appreciate you guys coming on the show. Here we go.
I believe in the Browns. I'm not sure I believe in Baker Mayfield. Look. The Browns haven't done a damn thing yet.
Can you even see what you're fighting for? Bloodlust and a holy war. Listen up, hear the patriots shout. Times are changing. In the end, the choice was clear. Take a shot in the face of